Hello and Merry Christmas. Welcome to Stories by Will. I am your host, Will, and we are reading from the book Tales Told in Holland, as you can see up in the corner over there. So today we are going to, as I promised on the last stream, do the St. Nicholas legend. And this one gets, I just want to say that if you have a problem with words or add meaning to words, this is not a stream for you to watch. So please turn it off and go to something in the future or in the past, or check out Mr. Morris doing, fun things as a 7-year-old cat, still being very active and having a lot of fun and enjoying life. So this story has very, very old. The next story that I'm going to read you actually comes from 800 AD. And the story after that, I believe, is 675 AD. So these are stories that are 1,200, 1,300 years old. And likewise, this one also is extremely old. It's nearly 2,000 years old. It's translated from Dutch into English and last published in 1948. And who knows when the story was actually written before that in English. So if you have a problem with words or descriptions, it's not meant to be disparaging. It's not meant to be, all this woke stuff we have currently here in December of 2023. The meanings that you put to words is your problem, basically. Stories are stories, and I'm going to read this story in full, the way it was written, the way it was translated, and I hope you enjoy it and not be disparaged by it. If you are, I don't want to hear from you, and I don't want you to listen to it. I don't want you to report it or whatever. I don't care. I really don't care. This is a story that's been passed down for a couple of centuries, and I'm just going to read it the way that it is. I will go back and make it non-kid friendly after it uploads. But I hope you enjoy the story. First, we have a very short poem that we're going to read, and then we'll get into the actual story itself. So this is the St. Nicholas legend. Look, yonder comes a schooner, all the way from Spain. There stands good St. Nicholas, coming back again. Frisking up and down the deck, see his horsey go. How prettily the pennants flutter to and fro. His servant smiles upon us, with gifts his bags are rich. Who's good shall have goodies, who's naughty gets a switch. So we will jump into the story now. Every winter, the good old bishop, St. Nicholas, comes in a ship over the sea from Spain. And who is it with him? It is his servant, a little Moor named Black Pete. They are bringing goodies and toys for children of Holland. Ages and ages ago, a certain man became so poor that he saw no way out of his difficulty, save to sell his 3 beautiful daughters. But one night, someone came secretly and dropped a large sum of money through a broken window pane into the poor man's house. The next night, a second gift of gold suddenly fell down the chimney. On the third night, the poor man, grateful beyond all words, waited to find out who that was thus relieving his dire distress. When he heard a noise at the door, he suddenly flung it open and fell to his feet at the man outside. He saw it was St. Nicholas, and he cried, "O St. Nicholas, servant of the Lord, wherefore didst thou hide thy good deeds?" And from that time forth, everyone has known that it is St. Nicholas who brings presents during the night. St. Nicholas brings gifts to every child in Holland, except those that have been naughty. The naughty ones, alack, get nothing but a switch. A few weeks before St. Nicholas Day, all the shops and candy stores are gray and everyone is happy. Throughout November and even before, St. Nicholas sees and hears everything that goes on. Aye, he knows exactly what children do not deserve presents. At night, he rides over the roofs on his white horse, and sometimes he listens at the chimney. And many a child puts before a fire a wooden shoe filled with hay and a piece of rye bread for St. Nicholas's horse. In the morning, it often happens that the hay and bread are gone. The good white steed has eaten them, and in their place are left candy and little spice cakes for the children. It is on St. Nicholas's Eve, the 5th of December, that the good saint rides in his magic red mantle. He can go all over Holland in a single night, and the children sing, "Sinterklaas, good holy man, put your best red tabard on, ride in to it Amsterdam, from Amsterdam to Spain. Apples come from orange, pears off the tree. Sinterklaas, please come." Sorry, I still really got to practice that one. But if Sinterklaas to come, you must be good. And if ever you see a little black boy, be careful how you treat him. He might be Santa Claus's turkey. Once more walked the streets as black as pitch. The sun shone his curly head, and so he put up his parasol. This little Fernandin saw as he ran with a flag through his hand. Casper, too, with a piece of cake, and Billy, rolling his hoop, gladly joined the party. These three made fun of the Moor and laughed at his black skin. Then came Santa Claus with an inkwell, a huge one. He said, "Come, boys, listen here. Leave that little Moor alone. It is not his fault that he is not white like you." The boys, however, paid no heed. They continued to laugh at the poor little Moor, and Santa Claus did not like. He took a firm hold of the boys. "Little men, now look out." They put him with his strong hand, Casper, Bill, and Ferdinand, in the inkwell, black and deep. Crying was of no use. When they ran away, they were black, all three, as black as the little Moor. On St. Nicholas's Eve, the housewife spread out a large white sheet in the center of the floor, and around it stand the children with sparkling eyes and flushed faces, eagerly waiting for Santa Claus. As soon as the clock says it's nearly time for him to appear, they all begin to sing. Again, I didn't practice this. So. Good St. Nicholas, Bonnie, 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 give a gift to little Johnny. Fill my little wooden shoe. Good St. Nicholas, I thank you. Sometimes the first inkling the children get of the saint's arrival is the rattling of chains outside. His little Moore has done that. How mysterious, how creepy. Then a shower of sweets burst into the room, and St. Nicholas appears in his long robe and his tall hat and his bishop's crook. With great dignity he enters and calls the children by name. To each he points out his faults or praises him. The children are deeply impressed. How strange that Santa Claus always knows if they have been good or bad. He tells them to be obedient and helpful to his parents. Then he hands out the presents from the great basket which he has brought. In the rear stands Black Pete with an open sack in one hand. In that he will put all the naughty boys and girls, and he holds a rod, too, which he shakes with vigor. You'd better be good and look out for Black Pete's switch. Once, a surly old abbot scolded that he would not permit St. Nicholas's songs to be sung in his church. They were childish, worldly, foolish, he said. But as he was dragged out of bed in the dead of night and switched like a naughty boy with Santa Claus's rod, till he changed his surly mind and opened up his heart to the joys of St. Nicholas's day. Let everyone who is not good beware of Black Pete's rod. Before leaving, St. Nicholas draws out a bag full of goodies and scatters them abroad, while the children scramble for them till they are sent off to bed. Then the sheets with the mess is cleared up, and the older people begin their celebrations. Next morning, the children run eagerly to the chimney, where, the night before, they had set out their shoes. They are full of candy, presents, and children's initials in chocolate, cookies made in shapes of birds, beasts, and fish, large dolls of cake baked like St. Nicholas or Charlemagne on horseback, sugar, candy hearts, slippers, scissors, or St. Nicholas's boat. It must never be known by old or young who gives the gifts St. Nicholas's Day. No, they must be mysteriously handed out and done up in all sorts of queer disguises. Small things are sometimes baked into a loaf of bread, or done up a number of times into packages quite enormous. The longer it takes before the present is found, the more successful the surprise. And so the happy day goes. Everywhere are smiling faces, mirth and jollity. Good feelings make all men brethren on this and most beloved merry Dutch holidays. That brings us to the end of St. Nicholas's legend, how and where it all kind of began, way back from the time. I think you'll really look forward to the next two stories. So these are extremely old folktale lores and stories that have been passed down through the ages. I would really humbly request that you like and subscribe. Share this with your friends and family, and hope to see you on the next one. Have a wonderful evening. Merry Christmas. Take care of yourself first, and be well.